going on, guys? We wanted to bring you a quick video showing how to operate the mod saw. So step number one, you're going to want to cut your arrow. Now, if you don't know what your arrow length is at or what you want it cut at, go ahead and take an arrow that you already have, remove the knock off the arrow, and you're going to want to get the carbon to carbon or CTC measurement, which is the end of your arrow without the knock to the front of your arrow minus the insert. So now you're going to want to put it on the shelf and line the end of your arrow up with the right side of that blade. So that's telling me that my arrow is at 29.5 inches. So that is what I'm going to cut the new arrow down to. Now, when you cut your new arrows, again, make sure you remove the knock if it has one. Then you're going to want to turn the saw on and your vacuum on to suck up the carbon dust. Now, if you noticed, I was rotating the arrow into the blade. You want to rotate the arrow into the blade. You don't want to just shove your arrow in. Step number two, you're going to square the end of your arrow to make sure it's perfectly flush for when you glue that insert on. So you're going to want to take this front bearing and push it all the way up against the squaring post so that it stabilizes the end of the arrow. You're going to want to take a silver or gold Sharpie and mark the end of your arrow so that you know how much to take off when squaring. You don't need to take off a lot. Now, once you got it marked up, you're going to want to rotate in one direction. You don't want to change directions, and you don't need to apply a lot of pressure at all. You just want to put a little bit of pressure and rotate the arrow, checking every few turns. All right, so just a couple more turns and we should be good to go. And that end is perfectly square. Once you clean the carbon dust off your arrow, you're gonna move on to step three, which is gonna be spinning your arrow. So you're gonna wanna move the bearing back to where it was. Like we said, we like to have it around 8 inches apart. Give it a little twist. Now, prior to gluing in your insert, you're gonna wanna put on a broadhead that you're gonna be using and put it into your arrow shaft. Then you're gonna wanna put it on the bearings and move your wobble indicator to where you can look down and line up the tip of your broadhead with that line to see if you have any wobble left and right. Now that you have your wobble indicator set, you're going to line up the tip of your broadhead with the edge of this line so that you can line it up and see if it's spinning left or right off this line to see if it's wobbling. So now you're going to give it a spin. And you see I've got some wobble at the end of that broadhead. So now you're going to want to give it a quarter turn. Spin it again. If it gets a little better, spin it a little more. So right there, that is perfect. That is spinning perfect. So now you're going to mark it and glue your insert in right where it's marked. After 3 short steps, you've got yourself a perfectly tuned arrow using the mod saw. Thanks for watching.